Eat, drink, and be merry. For this morning, we kill Hugh. Just kidding. I don't want him to die. Welcome back. This is part 3 of my solo actual play of Across a Thousand Dead Worlds. Right. That's not that much better. Anyways, let's go. Okay, we are playing Across a Thousand Dead Worlds. We are playing as Hugh, failed businessman and plastic miner who is now trying to make his fortune by exploring dead worlds through the use of dead ancient alien technology. Okay, so if you recall last time, you didn't, because just like any actual play video set, a bunch of people watched the first one and then like 10 people watched the second. At the end of the last video, I asked you to vote. Which place should he go to next? And I made 4 locations he could go to, but nobody watched that far. And of course, nobody voted. It's not that big a deal. It's fine. You know, I'm doing this for myself. So, you know, I kind of assumed people weren't going to vote. And I'm glad that I rolled up some options for myself so that I could make the decision for myself. And, you know, it is what it is. There's, you know, the whole point of solo roleplay is to enjoy it for your own benefit. And, you know, if you guys get something out of it too, that's great. So that's fine. You know what? Whatever. So here's the thing. I have this tendency, like when I'm mapping, to be itty bitty in like these tiny corners of things because I'm afraid I'm going to run out of room. And whatever. I gotta live my life. So I grabbed this notebook that's somebody gave me, and we got a little bigger. So we increased our map area, right? So there's our landing pad. There's the mine door with the Total Recall plinth, and the vault that I cleaned out, and the 2 titans I ran away from. I mean that Hugh ran away from. And this is the room where that one dude got squished. See, there he is. He's squished. And this is the Guardian storage where I found myself. And these are the 4 areas that I suggested that we were going to go to. I'm just going to roll a die since you bums didn't vote. And that's fine. Who even cares? Nobody. That's who. Not a single person. Certainly not me. Whatever. I don't even care. Oh, man. Bumping the stock. That's going to be a thing. All right, so I guess we're going to just retire this. I don't really need this. I'll save it for reference in case I have to look at it. We'll put it over here by my passive-aggressive notes. And let's see, we have our time die. Can you see it? There. Okay. We have the time die right there. I'm in a distorted place where time moves forward and backwards. We have our coffee. We have our wireless mouse plugged in because I thought I charged it, but I didn't, and life is cruel that way. Let us begin. So, since nobody voted, I'm not crying, you're crying, we're going to roll to see which sort of area he kind of goes towards. And these are these 4 action theme things I rolled up on the action theme table, if you are unfamiliar. Let's give you a gander at that. There, that wasn't too bad. You didn't barf, did you? Here's the action theme table. Alex is actually sending me a hard copy of the game. So the thing I said in the last video about, oh, if you buy the PDF and a 5 and I'm trying to get him to send me, don't worry about it. He's sending it to me. He's a really nice guy. Anyway, so here's the action theme table. Very similar to Ironsworn and Starforged. So this is a great way to help you sort of spark ideas. There's also the verb and verb noun tables, and those are on page 172. Those can also be very helpful. And then you have on page 144, you have the sort of area events and exploration section that can help you find stuff. So those 3 tables, they're in different places in the book. But yeah, I guess that's one advantage of playing with the PDF, right? So, okay, pay attention. It's time to get to work. Let's go. So we have 4 locations we could potentially explore. So let's see. Number 4. Okay, we're going to Abandon Price. Abandon Price. So now, even though I just unpaused, we're going to repause while my brain processes what Abandon Price means. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. And you can see that I've added a little spot here to the map. So abandoned price. This is, as I mentioned before, this is a guardian storage. So there's like 8 stories of this round room with these alcoves that have guardians in them of different shapes. Like guardians can be a bunch of different sort of shapes and sizes, according to our antagonists here. We have like, they can be like spiders, they can be flying things, they can be titans with these crazy claws, right? You want to see? So titans can be a number of different sort of designs, if you will. And so these are all represented here. You can sort of see them in these alcoves. And they're all, you know, basically abandoned. And so usually guardians would be used to like protect our sites and keep people from pillaging it. And this is a vault, which is why there's so many guardians. But the Arsai, whether because they died or because they abandoned this location, the guardians were no longer able to sort of maintain themselves or keep functioning for whatever reason. They've fallen into disrepair, and that's why this vault has been pilfered so thoroughly, where usually it would have been much more of a challenge, and there's only a handful of them left roaming the place, and these guys are all... So the price of them abandoning this this site is that all these guardians have gone to trash. So this location underneath is sort of there's like 8 stories of alcoves, and underneath that there's like almost like a workshop area similar to this, but you can see like the pieces that have fallen down, like from the disrepair of the guardians. But I also want to consider this an area, which means I want to roll and see what we find when we go in there. So let's go back to page 144. Where's the, oh, that's right, we do like the back thing. That's not that good. There we go. All right, let's see. We are going to do a D10. A 10. A random occurrence. Okay, so let's do random occurrence, which means we go over to page 170 for a random occurrence, and we roll a D4 to find out. This is on page 171. We're going to roll a D4. Do you guys like to see? Comment below. Do you like it when I do this so you can see it? When I get the actual hardcover book and I can put it on the table, this will be much easier. So we're going to roll here, find out if there's a danger, discovery, event, or situation, and then we will roll on the danger, discovery, event, or situation, which is also like the verb noun table. All right, let's find out. Survey says, what are we going to get? We are going to get number 2, a discovery. That's what I wanted. That makes me happy. So we roll a d20, and we get an 11. Junk or debris. I already know that. I can see the future. All right, so nothing really changes. Yeah, there's junk or debris. I can't scavenge anymore because I'm not allowed to cheat, and I found out that when you scavenge, you're supposed to be using RSI technology, in which I have a -5. Not a regular technology in which I have a 10. What are you gonna do? So yeah, he just sort of picks through and rifles through here. There's not much to see, not much to do. So he did find, if you remember, I did find like 1 cube and 1 data crystal in the Guardian storage area. So what are you gonna do? But I like to think that the Guardian storage area has many exits, because if the Guardians needed to like dispatch to different places in the vault in order to protect it. So, so yeah, we're gonna say that there are 4 plus a D. I don't know, 6. 5. There's 5 different ways you can leave from here, and I guess it doesn't really matter where they are or what they look like. They just allow you to go to new locations in the here. So it was a tick of time in order to move, because you always gotta have a tick of time. So let's see whether time goes forwards or backwards. Low is backwards, high is forwards. Oh, I think I was using D100s, right? 63. Time actually moved forward. Holy shit. It's like the first time since I started recording this little series or whatever this is. Okay, time move forward. He has moved into this little alcove area, and he decides to take a door. We're just going to say that the door is here. Do we want the door to be when you can't decide how one area connects to the next, roll on the following table? I can't decide. That's true. 12. I rolled a 12. Okay. Should I just move the dice tower closer to this so that you can see both at the same time? All the time? And I don't have to keep zooming in and out? I know. Crazy. There's the time die. Can you see that? Can you see the time die still? There you go. There you go. Nice and snug, everybody. Nice and close. All right. So I just rolled a 12. That means, ooh, stairs. Interesting. Here's how artistic people draw stairs. Bloom, 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 bloom. Going over to this area here, and okay, so he opens. I don't know. I don't care. Do you? Yeah. There's one of the alcoves leads to a staircase. It's a winding staircase because I said so. Like a tower-like structure that's going to go up to a whole nother floor, and that floor, as he walks in to this new site, he is going to see an 8. That is automated security measures. Ruh-roh. Okay, so we have automated security measures, and that is going to bring me to... there is a, let's see, automatic security measures. Oh, this is my first time experiencing automatic security measures. Let's see. They will encounter them whenever they trigger RSI defense systems. These systems' sophistication make them impossible to detect unless the characters are being cautious. But when triggered, there's a possibility the characters will manage to avoid the consequences. Okay, so now we roll a d10 on the automatic security measure table on page 164. I got a 6. That is nanites. That doesn't sound great. Okay, nanites, nanites, nanites. These are not in the same order as they are on the table. That's weird. Alright, it's nanites. A cloud of aggressive nanites is released. They surround a random character, that would be Hugh, inflicting 1 wound per round. The most effective way to deal with them is fire, but be open to alternative solutions such as freezing them or electrocuting them. They will move from character to character until there's nobody left. What? Okay. I don't know what to do about that. Okay, let me think. So per round, I think round is a combat term, right? Hold on. Okay, so I guess, or if I'm not in combat, I guess a round I'm just going to count as me 1 tick of time. Time to ask Alex. That's the upside of him having a Discord server. So let me go ask him right now. Let's see. Alex. What are you trying to do to me here? Why are you trying to kill me with security measures already? Alex, all right. Let me ask him. Please hold. All right, so I'm not sure what to do. Let me show you what this says. All right, they 1 wound per round. So I cannot turn off the search. Well, anyways, yeah, 1 wound per round. Deal with them fire whatever creative way. They'll move from character to character until there's nobody left. I asked Alex if a round is a tick of time when I'm not in combat. I'm going to assume that it is. So, like, each tick of time, the nanites would attack. But it says that they do this until there's nobody left, which would just basically mean that he would take 3 wounds and then die. So we're not going to do that, obviously. We're not going to kill Hugh. I want to leave a chance for him to die. So he's walked in, and the nanites are going to attack. All right, so he's... Jesus Christ. Okay, so he walks in and he gets the nanites, right? So he goes through the door, and the thrumming is there. The thrumming is like a constant noise that's in the site, but he also hears like this weird, like, I don't know, weird chip like chip music beeping, like, and then this like this let's call it a neon green swarm of nanites come down out of the ceiling and just completely surround him, and apparently they cause a wound. So let's go see what kind of wound he gets. So according to page 74, every time a character gets a what is it called? A non-fatal wound, they get -2 to all actions and must roll on the injuries table. Let us then roll on the injuries table. I'm going to see here. Okay, so I'm going to roll on the injuries table. Let's see what that brings us. Let's bring this back close again. There's a 5. An infected wound. The wound has been quickly infected. It requires antibiotics soon, or it may never heal. Okay, so I have an infected wound. Really? Okay. I'm going to say the infection is also neon green, because that sounds cool. I go to page 85, and let's see. Infected. One of the wounds is infected. If they don't take antibiotics before the time track resets, their maximum wounds are decreased by 1 permanently. Permanently! Okay. Sometimes the time track will provide plenty of leeway. Other times, the infection will quickly take hold. This reflects the different nature of each particular wound or infection. Okay. Sometimes the time track will provide plenty of leeway. The other time, it will take quickly hold. All right, well, and also time moves forward and backwards in this place. And we should see whether it moves forward or backwards now. Since we're infected, time moved forward. Of course it did. Okay. So, there we go. Time marches forward on his infection. What body part got infected? Let's do the combat rules. Let's go to... There's actually a table on page 60, which is a hit location for a humanoid. Number 8. So the location is on his torso. Okay. So the infection is on his torso. He is infected, right? Let's give him the infection, shall we? Like a neon green, we said. He's infected right there. Gross. So he is going to. We're not just gonna like arbitrarily kill Hugh right now. He is gonna go back the way he came to get away from the nanites. Let's see. How do we roll this? Stealth, survival, medical aid. Do I have antibiotics? Do I even have? I have antidote. Is that the same thing as antibiotics? Let's find out. Alright, so I'm on page 399 of Karam Station, Chapter 7, and I'm looking at the basic drugs. There's an antidote that affects common poisons and venoms, and I do have one of those. I also have back on the ship, I have a survival kit, and a survival kit contains a hunting knife, magnesium flares, water purifying tablets, a collapsible pry bar, 10 feet of rope, and a fire... this is fire striker. I guess striker? Should be striker, but he put a C in there. So it's a striker. A fire striker. Okay. I have to figure out whether or not this antidote fixes infection. So since Alex is always lurking on the Discord, he has already answered me in regards to the rounds for the nanites, and his answer was, yes, that sounds about right. So 1 tick of time is the equivalent to 1 round when you are not in combat. Ta-da! I should make an FAQ at some point of things. Although you could just go to the Black Oath Discord and find the answers to these questions. All right, so let's see if he's going to answer me. If well, I wouldn't be able to use them anyways because right now I'm standing in a swarm of nanites and I need to escape. Let's decide what makes sense for how to escape from the nanites. Hold on, this is going to require some coffee. Delicious. Did you just roleplay drinking that coffee with me? Close combat, perception, manipulation, no. Medical age, no. Maybe survival? I don't know. That doesn't seem right. It feels like dexterity would be the right thing to test. Although now I'm rolling at a -2. And if I mean, the game's not fun if it's not deadly. I'm not trying to kill Hugh, but I also don't want to be lame and cheat. So let's do that. Maybe this is what I get for going alone and doing a single person thing. I thought it would be easier because I wouldn't have to deal with NPCs, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's actually harder. Maybe it is harder. A medicine check. Oh, a medicine check. Oh. He says a medicine check. Oh. Where is that in the book? Yeah, medicine check, he says. Okay. To get rid of an infection, you do a medicine check. You can try it once per area. He says I can try it once per area. Let's search the book for medicine check. Oh. No, it would be maybe a medical check? Medical check. No, not in the book. Okay. So he's typing. He's gonna answer. All right. Sorry. Dead space on the video is dumb. All right. So, okay. What do I have on my person that I could use against these nanites? A sketchbook and a pencil. No. Okay. Data crystals, batteries, alloy cube, a gun. You can't shoot a gun into a nanite. I have nothing. The only thing I have to do is run. So we're gonna try to run. He is going to do the only thing that makes sense is a dexterity check to try to run, and I have to do it at a -2. So he's gonna try to get the heck out of dodge, and he's gonna try to dodge these nanites. Let's clear the hole here. Attempting to get the hell out of it. So yeah, he's just blah, 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 like arms flailing everywhere as these things, like he feels them get into his suit, and he's like clawing. He's like, get it off, and they're like getting into. He can feel them just get right through his skin. It's gross, like right on his ribs. And he tries to just throw himself back through the door before it closes, the door from whence he came. Wait, he says, wait, is it infected as in a parasitic infection or just an infected wound? A fine question. Just an infected wound. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm going to try to escape with a dex check since I have no way of affecting these things. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I have a dex of 8. I'm nervous. I don't want Hugh to die. We've been with him for so long. But it is fun to roll up new characters, so. Okay, here we go. Feet don't fail me now. 8 plus 8 is 16. That is a fail. So he does not escape. He is still here. He is still surrounded by the nanites. So he's not able to push himself back in time. The door closes on him. And, alright, so he is still surrounded by these nanites. Alright, so, All right, my argument is that now it's time to see if time ticks again, but if it ticks backwards, I'm going to say he does not take another wound, because I'm trying to keep Hugh alive. Okay, here we go. Oh, poor Hugh. What? I need antibiotics. Sorry, page 85? He says I need antibiotic? On page 85. Hold on. Conditions, infected, take antibiotics, but where are they? Antibiotics. Treating wounds. Get some antibiotics quickly. Okay, but that's a problem, Alex. Okay. Problem. Antibiotics are not mentioned anywhere else and aren't listed in the gear section. So, how do I get them? LOL. Alright, anyways, let's see if time moves forward while Alex answers. Oh, God. Time does move. Time does move. It wasn't moving forward before. It was letting me live before. Why is it moving forward now? Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Well, he's still here. So he gets another... He gets another wound. Okay. He gets another wound. Oh, my God. He was going to die. Okay, so he's getting another wound. Or, well, he gets another... Okay, characters receive wounds. Each time you receive a non-fatal wound, you suffer a cumulative -2, then turns nature to injury, rolling a 1 on the table and gets... Okay, just don't roll a 1. Alright, here we go. Here's next wound. 19? Okay, oh, they're part of the medical kit. He says they're part of the antibiotics are part of the medical kit. I do have my medical kit with me. Okay, phew. Okay. Okay. Phew. If he lives through the next wound he's currently getting, we'll see. Savage blow. Oh, God. Savage blow. Alex. Savage blow. Thanks, Alex. Savage blow. The injury is so violent that the character gains a trauma. Yeah, because he's just getting completely overwhelmed by these things. Oh my God. Alright, so he has 2 wounds. A second wound here, which means he's at a -4 to all his checks. 2 wounds. Savage blow. I guess I don't have to write savage blow, it just gives me a trauma. So the infected wound should be written down because I have to track it, but the savage blow is just causing a trauma. Okay, okay, that's fine. You know, emotions, stress. Okay, that's fine. Reacting to stress negatively. Yeah, okay. Oh my God, I forgot about stress. Yeah, okay, let's see, facing a danger, so definitely this was a danger, so we have to backtrack a little bit to do the stress for, coming across the nanites, which he wouldn't have had a negative yet for, so it's gonna be a resolve check, which he got an absolute fail on, so he did get, more stress, bringing his stress up to 13. Then, let's see, seeing an ally, gaining a negative, no, being blinded or suddenly thrown, no, being a sole survivor, facing an aberration, no, okay, so, yeah, but I'm sorry, but I just have to believe that getting, infected by a plague of neon nanites would be stressful, so we're going to we'll call that another +2. We're going to try to resolve that, but it would have been a -2, so 6. So, no, he just gets another 2 stress, so now he's at 15 stress. That means something. He performs all actions at -10. So he has -10 from the stress and -4 from wounds. So he's at a -14. I think he was going to die. Okay, so he has a -10 from stress and -4 from wounds, and I think Hugh is going to die. You know, he could have left. Maybe he still can. Maybe he can make a run for it. It's not impossible. I have to remember to use luck. I still have 2 luck remaining that I can use for rolls. So I should keep that in mind. Oh, yeah, I should have really used that for that attempt to flee. But I forgot. But I'm a new player, you see, so I'm a new player. So we're going to use my luck to try to re-roll my. Shut up! It's not cheating. Shut your face. All right, so he's going to try to roll. He has a -2 and dex of 10. So basically a dex of 8. So I need to roll 12 or higher to try to escape from the nanites. That's what I'm talking about right there. He was not dying here today. That was a 20, wasn't a 2. Okay, so nope. Forgot about luck. He lives. Why can't I type? He lives. All right, so I was wrong. He didn't get another wound. He didn't. He escaped. He did manage on a second try. He slams his hand against the door and rolls through and escapes the nanites. So he's not dead. He's also not up to. He wouldn't be up to 15 stress, I don't think. They might react negatively to stress anytime you're at. Well, he was already at 11, so we're not gonna worry about that. All right, so he's at 13 stress. I don't know. Maybe this is. Maybe I'm cheating. I don't. It doesn't feel like cheating. It feels like keeping Alex from killing me is what it feels like. Okay, so he lives, and he was alive, and he's back through the door. And I think at this point he's kind of like, I don't know. Fuck this. I'm leaving. He's gonna go back. What's he got to do to get back? He's just got to go. This is where the nanites were, right here, like in this area. So he just needs to go back down the stairs through Guardian storage, back through here. So he has to backtrack actually a fair amount to get back. During which the infection might keep getting worse, and if it does, then he's going to have problems with the infection. If they don't take before the time tracks, the wounds permanently. Other times the infection will quickly take hold. This reflects. Okay, so now I have a question for Alex, which is, let's say the infection reduces my wounds permanently by 1. Does it then go away, or does it keep being a problem? Oh, wait. No, it's fine. I jump back through the door. Boom, right? And now I'm back in Guardian storage. And now that I'm back in Guardian storage, I can use the medical kit, which I do have with me. He informed me that the medical kit is how I deal with this problem that I have, which is my infection. Let me find that real quick and read it. 5 sets of medical supplies for tending to wounds and injuries. How am I supposed to know that they're part of the medical kit? I don't think it actually mentions it. Does the book actually mention that the antibiotics are in the med kit? Alright, well, he said it's a medical check using the medical kit. I don't know where he's getting that from, but I believe him. Medical scanner, medical aid checks. Hold on, let me look. Okay, so skills. Under the medical aid skill, which I do have, the medical aid says that once per area, You can, after all combat, you can pass a medical aid check outside of combat to remove 1 wound from your character. So that's how you get rid of an infected wound, is by doing a medical check, and it uses 1 medical supply. So that is not super clear, but now I know. I'm actually glad Alex is around to let me know that. Okay. I really like this game. There are some little bits like that are a little confusing. Anyways, let's do that then. I rolled back through the door. I'm going to do a medical check, which I have to do at a -2. So I'm actually doing it at a 8 instead of a 10 to try to get rid of the infection. I rolled an 11, which is not good enough. So I'm going to use my last luck and try again. Jesus. Okay. So I'm out of luck, and I rolled a 1. So to remove 1. Doing so I guess I wouldn't use them. Would I still have to use the medical supply if I failed? Do I still lose 1 med supply if I fail the med check? The med aid roll. Because I just sucked at it. That's funny that the wound makes it harder to heal the wound. So that's what happened. That's the deal. He did not succeed at the medical check. I'm going to say it does, despite his efforts, there's something about the nanites that makes them, like, impossible to heal. So despite the fact that he used 2 luck and a medkit piece, he did not successfully do that, and it did take a tick of time to do that. So if this moves forward to 6, Jesus. Okay, so how does this work? There's 6 ticks. I don't know why my brain hurts when I try to think of this. You don't have to suffer this. Hold on. All right, page 129. Once the time track fills, which is, it actually looks like this on the sheet. No? Yes, here. It actually looks like this on the sheet. So that would answer my question. I am, if it ticks again, the time track fills. And once the time track fills, I lose a battery, an oxygen pellet, and any ammo if I used it, and update ongoing effects and such. One thing that I'm struggling to properly sort of use in the game would be the Game Master emulation. So the concept of using the scene, like knowing when scenes begin and end, when to add the twist. Like I totally forgot. I have forgotten to do this. Like establishing the scene, seeing if a twist happens. I did it a little bit at the beginning, if you recall. I was doing it on like here. I had like my little twist thing, but I completely forgot about it because keep a track of other aspects of the game. So I haven't used the prediction subroutine a whole lot, and I haven't been doing the like surprise events for twists. I don't need to do anything, but I want to incorporate this more because it reminds me of Mythic, and I really enjoy Mythic. I'm actually a patron for Tana for Mythic because I love getting the monthly Mythic magazine. If you're not getting it, you're totally missing out as a solo player. That's my take on it, and it's the correct one. Okay, so anyways, yeah, all right. We are gonna, this thing is happening. All right, so, well, we don't know if it's happening. Let's see. Does time move forward? Please don't. Please make peace, Gelflings. Oh my god. All right. So, time fills, and that means that we have to lose an oxygen pellet, and we lose a battery. Although, to be fair, I've been getting away with murder when it comes to those this whole game. But since the time track filled, that means that my maximum wounds goes down to 2. Max is 2, not 3. And, oh, I don't have 2 wounds, that's right. I just had a heart attack, because that second one never happened. Retcon. What happens if I hit maximum wounds, I hear you ask? I'm pretty sure I die. Let me look. Threatening wounds, medical aid, wounds, and let's see. Yeah, so once you hit your max wounds, you die. So if I get one more wound, sorry, not me, Hugh. I'm not gonna die. Hugh's gonna die. Hugh's not gonna die. Nobody's dying. Stop talking like that. Anyways, okay. He jumped through the door. He failed his med check. It did not work, but I can try once per area, it said, for med check. So we'll try again. So we went back to the door. We are here. We are going back the way we came. So this is a new area here. So we move over there. Oh! Whenever the time track fills, you have to check for a action, an activity, a thing. A thing might happen. So zones, zone-based combat, stealth and healing, no, time tracking. The expedition, tracking time. Yeah. Whenever it rolls over, we have to check for an action. I don't remember where it says that, but I do know that it happens. So let's do that. Hold on. Yeah, page 138. Each time the time track resets, which I guess is because I hit 6, so it's filled and it resets, right? I guess those are the same two things. Roll on a d10 to perform an activity check, and if it's a 1 or a 2, you're ambushed. Oh God. Okay, so not ambushed, so that's good. And so now we move from here to here. I don't know why I'm drawing on my map like this. Probably because Hugh's running away and we all know it. So he moves there, which is gonna be. Does the time track move up? Yep. Okay, so it moves to here. And now we're in Guardian Storage. He's going to do a medical aid check at a -2. Alright, because of his wound. Did he get more stress? God, stress is killing me. Strafing danger? No. No, okay. Alright. Oh, he had to rest. If you don't rest, then things go badly for you. So under tracking time, which is, again, page 126, so you have to rest. Oh, no, that's right. It's not resting. Well, I call it resting, but the game doesn't. It's on page 176. 176, under taking a break. Rest every hour or so. This represents the amount of, okay, resting progresses time track by 1. Being unable to rest. So we're going to say I rested Hugh. I need to start detaching myself from this walking corpse. Hugh rested here, and so that brought it up to here. Then he moved into Guardian Storage. Now let's see if time moves forward or backwards. Why is it always moving forward now? What happened to this convenient time die that is now betraying me all the time? And now we're here, so we're going to roll to see if we can do a medical check. Nope, that doesn't do it, because my medical check is now at a -2, because I'm stressed, because I'm wounded. Yeah, because I'm wounded. So that didn't work. Alright, so now we're going to move from Guardian Storage. We have to take a time tick to back into the bloody vault where that dude is laying there dead. Gross. So we're going to move in there, and let's see if time moves forward or backwards. Only forward these days, folks. Only forward. So we move in here. We do another med check. You've got to be kidding me. Okay. I feel like I should be using up med kit supplies as I do this. So I'm down to one more med kit supply. All right. And then, but one more movement gets me back to the landing area. Back here. And then I can run away. Although time is still going to pass in space, isn't it? Right? Oh, God. All right, so we are in here. We are moving back to the next room as we go. Time moves forward. Remember when it used to only move backwards? Do you remember the good old days? I do. All right, so now we're back in the landing area. One last med check. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. No, that did not go to the tower. It didn't go. Oh, come on. Come on. Why? Okay, that's it. I'm out of med supplies. I'm out of med supplies, unless Alex says otherwise. I'm gonna give him a little bump to see if he'll answer. Okay, so Hugh is just panicking as he's running back to the ship. He's going back into the landing area. The neon things they're climbing all over his torso. They're freaking him out, and he has no idea what to do. Oh wait, I'm supposed to make this a 0. I'm pretty sure I'm totally out of med kits at this med kit supplies. And he's like, I gotta get back on the ship. I gotta go. Let's see. How do you track time and space? It's in weeks instead of minutes. All right, so here's my question. When you are in a site, you track time by 10-minute increments, and whenever the track fills, you reset it. And it says that if I get a wound, every time this thing, the time track resets, the wound gets worse. But what if I get on my ship and I'm no longer using a time track? I'm checking. Yeah, this is tricky. I'm not sure how to parse this. I'm getting back on the ship, so the infected says that if you don't take antibiotics before the time track resets, their maximum wounds are decreased by 1 permanently. And if it decreases by 1 again, I'll die. I'm at 4 on the time track. I'm getting on the ship, but once you get on the ship, you don't track time by ticks anymore. You track it by weeks. I don't have any more medicine, unless he says that I don't use up med kits for failed med checks. Or med kit, like med supplies from the med kit for failed checks. I think he's going to say I do, and this is why you shouldn't go alone on an expedition, even though the game gives you the option to. Maybe it's not a good idea. So I don't know what to do. I am going to. Maybe this is a good place. This is the cliffhanger for today. What happens when I get back? Does Hugh die? No, because if he says yes, then I'm just going to come back and you're going to be like, where's Hugh? And I'm going to be like, he's dead. Don't worry about it. So this is, let me just check a little bit more in the book and see if I can find something. I'm a little sad. I'm not sure I actually see, it doesn't say I can do medical aid skill checks while I'm on the ship. I mean, it would make sense that I can do it, so I'm going to say that I could. Except I don't have any medical supplies left. I don't have any on the ship. Like, there's not anything I left there. Survival kit. That doesn't cut the mustard. I'm gonna die. Oh, man. Oh, Hugh. Yeah. I think he's dying. I think Hugh is dying. So, yeah, he's just been tearing through the medical kit, trying time after time. I mean, 6 rolls. I had 6 different rolls to roll 12 or higher on a d20, and it didn't work. So, can you hear me going through like the stages of grief here? I'm in denial that Hugh is going to die. Yeah. He thinks about how angry he is at his partner, the one that took advantage of him and stole his business away from him. He thinks about, in frustration, how dumb he feels for thinking that he could make it on this, at Karam Station, and that he would find his fortune here, because, and he thinks in the back of his head, of course, you were always doomed to fail. You always knew that it was going to end this way. And as he's like climbing onto the ship, he's like desperately hoping that he'll be able to make it back. But he knows in the back of the head it isn't true. He gets on the ship launches. He knows it's going to take 3 weeks to get back. And so I guess that would be like the equivalent of this ticking forward twice. So as someone said on the last video in the comments, or the first video, that it's time to add a word here. Oh no, that was overly aggressive. Instead of a time die, it is now it is a time to die. The ship, I really don't like this. The ship returns to this station, and when they open it up, they just find this neon green corpse surrounded by his loot. They find his sketchbook and his pencil. In his, the last thing he was trying to write, it's mostly gibberish. The fevered writings. Somebody wrote to mind, does he still use med supply? Raxfiel says, I'd argue likely yes, but I can see that the wording may leave it vague enough to keep it. In spirit, it's definitely a game of survival horror, so losing the supplies seems thematically correct. Sadly, yes, I am currently narrating his death in my actual play. Yeah, so there's just fevered scribblings in his notepad, some pictures of things that he saw, and they do get his supply or his site record back of the things that he found. Where is it? The site. Not much on it. Never found any artifacts. I found, a few cubes and crystals, not much. And so ends the Ballad of Hugh, I think. The money that he's collected on his journey is used to pay the debt that he owes for his lodgings while he was gone. He had never allowed himself to do more than standard lodgings. He couldn't lower himself to do the basic lodgings, and so he had done that. They take his body out, and you know what? There's something in Carom Station Blues about how they deal with bodies. Hold on. In case you didn't know, Carom Station Blues is a supplement that somebody made, written by, I shouldn't just say somebody. Wow, this is not loading. Why are you loading so slow? Why are you being dumb? Am I using too much memory? Here we go. Written by Richard Kelly. Yeah. So it is... Wow, it's loading really slow. Hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought there was something in here about how they deal with people who die. Let's see. Psychological therapy. Too late for that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure your family's charged for like your services or something. There's some... I can't find it. Hold on, I want to find it. Here it is. I was wrong. It's on page 330. Funerary traditions. There are none. There's nothing worth sending back to his family. Let's say he had a kid that requested his sketch pad, and then they found out, hey, focus. They found out how much it would cost, and they were like, never mind. I don't want it that bad. And so the sketch pad goes along with his body into the, incinerator, I guess? Yeah. And that's it. So ends Hugh Vaught. Alex says, do I... Yes, I know, Alex. It's too late now. Thank you for letting me know. It's a bit too late for that. And that's it. That is the end of Hugh. It's fine. It's not a big deal, right? Like, it's a survival horror game, so of course, what do you expect? Poor Hugh. He didn't make it past one site. Okay, well, don't get attached to your characters and that's Across 1,000 Dead Worlds. This has been my first, full game of this, and he was dead. So we're going to roll up a new character. I think I'm going to check with Alex whether or not I can do a video of Carom Station Blues, or whether or not that would be too spoilery for people who haven't played it. And if that's the case, then I think on my next one I'm going to learn how to do... So one thing I didn't use is emotional state, which is at the bottom there, and that's something that changes as the game goes on. But I also want to use NPCs. I could, if I wanted to. There is actually a starting crew and exploration sites thing you can get that I could use. These crew members are very detailed, so that might be because like they have like full information, I guess. Oh, I guess they don't. They're not. Okay. Yeah, so I might use some of these pre-generated crew members, and maybe since I have it, I'll do one of these pre-generated sites. I'll ask if that's cool by Alex if I do that, in case it's not too spoilery. So stay tuned for that. Also stay tuned for in a week or so I'll have my hands on a copy of the book. I'm gonna do a full flip through and I'm gonna give you my thoughts. Is it a review? It's just thoughts. I don't know if I have enough information to do a full review. Maybe I do. I don't know. I've played the game. But I want to use NPCs. I want to have more people with me and get more familiar with the game so that I make less mistakes. But it's been very helpful to have Alex along for the ride. So thank you to everybody who actually hung in here long enough to watch Hugh die. It was very fun killing him. And I will see you on the next one. So take it easy.